feel problems with this yet again. Nora?
That is quite a forecast. The only people celebrating those kids who've got school canceled again for tomorrow. Rob Marciano, thank you so much. And the snow here in Washington did not stop one of the most important parts of a presidential election, the certification of results. On the left is what it looked like 4 years ago, riddled with chaos and violence. On the right is how it unfolded today, with order and civility, as Vice President Kamala Harris oversaw the count of electoral votes in an election she lost. We get more now from CBS's Scott McFarlane.
With a driving snowstorm outside, this time it was a serene January 6th inside, in one of her final acts as vice president. Kamala Harris presided as Congress certified the victory of her opponent in the 2024 presidential election.
Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes.
In a ceremonial proceeding that lasted barely 30 minutes. A stark contrast to the chaos and catastrophe of January 6, 2021, in which more than 140 police officers were injured, maimed, gassed, and beaten by marauding rioters.
Today was obviously a very important day, and it was about what should be the norm.
Democrat Joe Morelli of New York helped administer today's certification.
Were you thinking back to 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's hard not to think back to what happened. I mean, that was a day that no one should forget, and certainly no one should try to change what happened.
Washington, D.C. police officer Daniel Hodges, beaten in a doorway by the mob, attended today and accused Republicans of trying to ignore or whitewash the insurrection.
It would be my honor to make it as uncomfortable as possible for the GOP members who try to whitewash that day and lie about what happened and pretend that we didn't save them.
4 years later, nearly 1,600 people have been charged with felony or misdemeanor crimes for their alleged roles in the attack. And though some Trump allies have claimed the rioters were unarmed, a CBS News review found guns, tasers, chemical spray, bats, and dozens of other weapons were brandished.
They should immediately be released, immediately, the J6 hostages.
President-elect Trump has pledged at least some pardons as early as Inauguration Day.
I think it'd be offensive to everyone who risked their lives, who fought and sacrificed their blood and sweat that day to preserve democracy.
A CBS News investigation finds nearly 160 of the Capitol riot defendants sentenced so far had criminal pasts, including for violent crimes, amid warnings from Trump's critics that pardons could embolden future crimes. Nora?
Scott McFarlane with that news from the Hill today. Thank you, Scott. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are in New Orleans tonight, meeting with the families of those killed in the New Year's Day attack on Bourbon Street. The visit comes as we learn chilling new details about the planning of the attack. Here's CBS's Omar Villafranca.
President Biden arrived in New Orleans this afternoon to grieve with the families who lost loved ones on New Year's, as more haunting details emerged about the attacker. The FBI released this video over the weekend. It was recorded by Shamsuddin Jabbar as he rode a bicycle through the French Quarter last October, the same area where he carried out his deadly rampage. Jabbar recorded the video using meta glasses like these. They look like regular glasses, but they have a small built-in camera right here to take pictures, record video, or live stream. Today, the normally bustling Bourbon Street was packed with construction crews, along with Louisiana's governor and other officials. New Orleans plans to replace the street's physical barriers, known as bollards, in time for next month's Super Bowl, much-needed upgrades that apparently had not been addressed for several years. A 2017 report identified Bourbon Street as a potential terrorism target, and the city installed bollards. But a confidential report showed that city officials were warned in 2019 that the bollards needed to be fixed and improved immediately. Now, after years of delays, there are concerns that the new bollards being installed may only withstand crashes of up to 10 miles per hour.
The thorough assessment that I'm asking for will determine if, in fact, they're strong enough.
Today, funeral services were held in Lafayette, Louisiana for 27-year-old Tiger Besh, one of the 14 people killed. Besh was a former All-Ivy Princeton football player who became a junior bond trader. Jack Besh is his brother.
And now each day on will be the hardest day of my life, just living there knowing I can't speak to him ever again.
Behind me, construction crews removed 2 bollards from Bourbon Street. The plan is to beef up security in the French Quarter in time for next month's Super Bowl and for the Mardi Gras season, which starts today. Nora?
We're going to get that done.